A happy family picture, you'd say. But behind the smiles are secrets of pain and tears. This is a story of Sade and Tunde. Sade, like every young girl would, attended a friend's wedding, but in the wedding she felt left out. Started to bore herself with the pressure of thinking, when will I get married? She got home and continued to think to herself. She thought of her parents, the pressure from friends and family. Tunde, on the other hand, attended the friend's education, and soon the thought struck, I'm not getting any younger. I need to get married and settle down. My mates are already dedicating their children, and here I am. The thought did not stop there. It continued. Tunde felt lonely. He felt he needed a companion as soon as possible, someone to fill the vacuum of the loneliness. But little did he know that he was not prepared to be married, the responsibility that came with it. Days passed and Sade and Tunde happened to meet at a meeting. They spoke at length and even exchanged contact at the meeting. Things happened so fast between them that they even began to spend so much time together. They went out on dates and spoke on phone for hours. And before anyone could even say Jack, Tunde had already proposed to Sade. Even her friends were concerned. They asked if she was sure about her decision to go ahead and marry Tunde, because they all knew when she started the relationship with Tunde. But Sade was too excited to even think about it, so she agreed to the marriage, and they went on with the marriage ceremony. They had 2 children, a boy and a girl. But yes, they say children are a blessing, but it comes with a responsibility from both parents. Tunde never believed in assisting with the house chores. He only believed in providing for the bills and money, but he never saw the need to assist with house chores in the house. On one occasion, Sade decided to confront Tunde because he would rather sit in an untidy environment rather than assisting in keeping the environment clean. Tunde would rather sit in a scattered and dirty place, waiting for Sade to come back and pick them up. Sade felt disgusted, and this caused several heated arguments that even the kids noticed, and it began to affect them even in school. One of the teachers had noticed at one time and called the mother to ask why their daughter's grade was dropping, and she noticed how she was unusually calm at school. She would sit alone without playing with the other kids, and it became a matter of concern that she had to call the mom. But Sade knew what was going on, but she couldn't respond as she couldn't open up what was going on in the family to the teacher. At one time, Tunde had promised to pick the kids up from school, only for the school to call Sade from work that the kids were the only ones left behind at school. Sade had to run to pick them up from school. She got home and found Tunde sleeping and snoring. It made her so angry and devastated. Gradually, she was becoming a shadow of herself. Due to tiredness, she began to look older than her age, from the stress of taking care of 2 children all by herself, and a husband that was not willing to assist with the chores of the house. She cried to herself, and she thought, what have I gotten myself into? My friends warned me about knowing this guy. I thought I knew him, but I didn't know it was like this. I didn't know his thought in the role of responsibility as a father. We didn't get to talk about all this part. Now, I have to deal with this on my own. Oh God, help me. She cried and said all this to herself. Her only hope was to pray and ask God to help her, because obviously there was nothing she could do by herself. Only God's intervention could help. So she prayed. She prayed and prayed to God to help her change the perspective of her husband and the responsibility of the home as a father, and take responsibility as a caring father to cater for the kids and not just providing money. And God truly does have a way of answering prayers. On just one random outing with his friend started a conversation, and they spoke about how they assisted at home. One spoke about how he assisted with the laundry, and the other spoke about how he assisted with dishes, and they were happy about it. And then it hit Sunday suddenly. He realized he had nothing to contribute because he had not been helping in the house. He had not been a good father and a husband. A bad example to his son. He believed it wasn't a man's job, but a woman's job to do the house chores. He looked at the men saying these things and saw how happy they were doing these things. Tunde went home that day feeling guilty. He felt he had played a very bad role as a father and as a leader of the house. And truly, in that remorse, he apologized to Sade and promised to change for good. And truly, he did. He began assisting in the house, started doing the dishes and laundry in the house, and gradually things began to come back to normal. Even the kids at school, they began enjoying themselves. They could now play with other kids and were looking very cheerful and happy. Lessons from this story. God speaks in unexpected ways. Sometimes in the middle of simple conversation you almost ignore. Have friends who can tell you the truth, not just what you want to hear. The right people around you can save you from wrong decisions. Children are very sensitive. They notice every argument, every silence, every tension, and it affects them even more than you think. Not every marriage you admire is perfect. Some are only perfect in pictures, while silently struggling behind closed doors. Marriage is not a cure for loneliness. If you enter it empty, you may still feel empty inside it. Do not let pressure make decisions for you. What feels urgent today can become a lifelong burden tomorrow. Take time to truly understand who you are choosing, their values, their habits, their mindset. Love alone is not enough. And above all, involve God from the beginning. Because it's easier to build right than to repair what was built in a hurry.